Daily Show. Wednesday morning continues right around 10:35. Guns and hoses. We are here.
It's happening. I appreciate you having me on.
Zach Dellamano joins us in the studio now. And you were with Alton Police for quite a bit now up in Troy, correct?
Yeah. So I was with Alton from 2011 to 2022.
I don't have to worry about giving false plates out today.
No,
normally I give out the
today.
content directors plates.
And not unless you go to Troy, where I've been since. I've been there since 2022.
You know, before we go into the event, I never get the chance to talk about it, but Troy Police Department really has a good thing going on, and the whole town of Troy does too.
Yeah. The cool thing about Troy Police Department is we're a little bit smaller than Alton, and the community supports us so much. Not that Alton doesn't get community support too, but when you have a smaller, tight-knit community like that, people really like getting involved. And our department in general, I would say, I think we've got about 23, 24 officers, and it makes us a lot more of a tight-knit, kind of family-friendly group.
You become truly family at that point when it's that small.
We really do, yeah. You know, we'll dedicate time to each other on our time off. Like, there are so many of us who are coming to the game, and that kind of overwhelming support from the department was
fantastic.
Really awesome, yeah.
Well, and, you know, it's just really cool to see the community engagement side, because I do events up in Troy with the First Fridays, and to see the Trone, you know, out there and all these things. It's just really cool to see the really, not just the support, but the collaboration there too. Not just protect us, but to also elevate us and showcase some really cool things too with your technology and things you have.
Well, I'm glad you have that experience, because it's something we really strive for.
Fantastic. And coming up this weekend, you can just be a part of a great community, raising, you know, great awareness and funds for a great cause. Guns and Hoses, how long have you been a part of the organization before we talk about the event?
So I took it over a little bit later. J.P. Thatcher and I, he works in the Madison County Sheriff's Office, and then Steve Perry, along with Larry Thatcher, Paula Thatcher, the family's been really helpful for us. I've been with the organization, or with the team, since 2013. So our first event was the Metro East First Responders versus the St. Louis County team. And it was for Kyle Deathridge. So he was an Illinois State Police officer. He tragically lost his life in a motorcycle accident. So that's when we got together. I think Jason Unverzat, who's a firefighter, was really kind of heading the way at that time. Got with Larry Thatcher, who was the rank manager at that time. And it kind of took off from there. We did a few events. We had an event. One of our cool events was we played the Blues alumni in the Hanson Brothers.
No way.
The old school movie, Slap Shot.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did. And
stop. That would have been my freaking claim to fame right there. The Hanson Brothers. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
I can't quote it, of course, but I just, you know.
Well, one thing I kind of missed out on, though, is a few of the guys went out with them the night before, and I'm like, I still regret not doing that. I'm not a big going out kind of guy. So, but yeah, it was a bummer. They're so funny. They're really awesome people.
That whole movie is fantastic. You know, you guys just saw the flyer on the screen, and that's the date and time for it. Saturday, March the 21st, Police First Fire, bragging rights on the ice for one great cause. Doors open at 3:30. The game starts at 4, again at the East Alton Ice Arena, which is, had some great acclaim lately. The NHL, the EA game was over there doing some tapings and some really cool stuff too.
Yeah, I think so.
Fantastic. So how much is admission?
So admission's $10.
Oh.
And kids 5 and under are free, and that's one of the things I wanted to get more kids involved. So specifically last event that we had, I noticed we had people show up, like guys I recognized from the rink, and they had their kids, people I didn't really expect to show up. But they're like, you know, we don't run a really swing a Blues game, and we've got a 3 or 4 year old here, and it's like we can take them to this hockey game and they'll have just as much fun, because we do things like 50-50 raffles, chuck a puck to where everyone just kind of, you buy like a $5 or $10 puck and you throw it out on the ice. Whoever gets closest to the face-off circle, that's actually the person who wins the prize for all the money collected from the chuck a puck. So that's really fun for the kids. Other than that, like, we usually have a big fire truck out front that hangs a flag. I'm going to try to make that happen this year. And it's just kind of you know, bring your kid on a Saturday if you don't have much going on. We've got concessions, you know, snacks, soda, alcohol for the guys or for the parents, and we even do like a booze wagon raffle where we set up this really cool wagon, and it's got like a flashing strobe light and stuff. Raffle baskets, golf giveaways, you pay your money, you put a raffle ticket in. We've got several like higher end alcohol giveaways, like chiropractic treatments.
Wow.
And then I usually put something together like a package for the kid with like a little hockey game and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff to do other than just see the hockey. So, yeah.
Well, and before we go into any further, I mean, if you guys don't know yet, you should, but the proceeds from the benefit the Madison County Fallen Officers Memorial Fund, and, just brings the greater importance into why we're doing this.
Sure.
But going into it, as an organizer, it's got to be fantastic because, you're an officer. You get to interact with the community in a variety of different ways. But to do it in this way, where you're seeing community support, where it's like, here's a chiropractic,
it's really
voucher.
rewarding.
Is that truly the sentiment for you guys and the whole team? Because to me, it's like, man, there's no payment needed whenever you have that much energy already ahead of this or behind the sale.
For sure. And, I get people involved who are kind of focused on that too.
Yeah.
And all of our team members donate $100 right off the bat. If you want to play, you have to be serious about the organization as far as donating for the cause, because that's our really main reason for being there. And of course, the other reason is we all like to get together and play hockey. So if we like to get together and play hockey, we might as well raise some money for good causes and everything. We've donated to individual people who are in need. We've donated to different funds like this, the Madison County Fallen Officers Memorial. And it's not only is it a blast, but then we get to reward the community as well. So,
you got a moment to take a quick break with me?
Yeah, you bet.
I got to pay a bill. We're going to come back and continue our Wednesday morning. Right after this, you guys stay there, and we'll be here, RiverBender.com and Roku TV. Welcome back. Daily Show. My favorite part of the conversation is during the break. That's when no one can hear.
We can have the real conversations.
The real conversation does center around the fact that Guns and Hoses is a great event, and it goes towards really such a great cause. And I hate to, bring it connection, but we've seen it even in our own backyard here in Madison County the last 10 to 15 years. And, with Officer Timmons and even Officer Snyder, who wasn't, within the Alton Police Department, but still right here in our own backyard, a community member.
And so, hit home.
Yeah. And, you see these things, and you hear of them more frequently, I'm sure, than, the public does, because there are stories that go unshared. And, I think just that statement alone, the public would go, are you sure? Well, there are, and there's tons of them. So to go towards raising causes for this and just supporting you guys on a night where out of all the stress and the interesting things that come within a shift, to just enjoy and raise money for a good cause.
Yeah, and you know what? We really appreciate the community support for that too. It really makes us feel like we're supported, and that people are aware of some of the hardships that we face, and we try not to be martyrs about it. But at the same time, I personally don't have an issue with what I do, but maybe some guys do. Maybe some guys have PTSD and everything like that, or if we can help out if someone gets injured. And as a matter of fact, in this one, we are presenting jerseys to 2 of the police officers who got shot this past year in Fairview Heights.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to make a jersey presentation to them. So even though this specific event isn't going to be donated to like an individual family, we still want to recognize at least 2 of those officers who faced tremendous hardship and the things that they're still dealing with because of that.
One, I think for the public, just to follow up with that, it brings into perspective, the whole, now it's not as bad, but as it was 20 years ago with or 15 now, with the national debate on, police and all that.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go back into it, but I think whenever you have these community moments where you realize that there's things that are more important than some political silo or how you feel on any given day.
Yeah.
These families are impacted. These are folks that live in our community. And I think it's so important that you guys do that. I really, not to patronize you, but that really is why we're all here,
Sure.
Fantastic stuff. Okay, I'm nosy. You said some chiropractic gift certificates. What else am I winning on this?
So we've got golf giveaways too.
John must have been involved in something. No, I'm just
one of our guys actually went to a few golf courses, and I'm not a golfer, so I don't know which ones in particular, but got some free rounds of golf. I have one thing that makes me frustrated enough, and that's hockey. If I get anything more involved in my life, I'll have a breakdown.
Listen, golf, I have to have a DD. I will never go golf.
Right?
I swear. I will go play with you, but I have to have a few beers. Otherwise, you don't want me to golf with you. I'm that bad.
Well, that's one of the reasons I don't play, is I don't want another excuse to have a few beers. So I'm like, I'll definitely be having a couple after the game at least. So
that's fantastic.
That's one of the reasons we all get together, so we can have a few drinks and have a good time.
So let's talk pricing. $10 admission, available in advance at the door. Are we still at that time, or?
Yeah, so you can get a hold of one of our guys or send an email to me, zd197@troypolice.com.
We'll
if you
link
want
that.
Thank you. If you want some wristbands, and I'll make sure that you get hooked up. So if you buy them in advance, you buy 2 and you get 3. Otherwise, they're for sale at the door. Like I said, 5 and under. We really want to encourage some young kids coming to this event. It's really family friendly. There may be a scheduled scuffle, sometime in the middle.
Way.
Yeah, hopefully no one gets hurt since we're all friends, but just a little rough and tough kind of stuff.
You know what I think would be great? If you have a live warrant chase right there on
You're
the
right there. It'd be hard finding someone, but yeah, maybe.
It would just be great, So it's like, why don't we do it,
Yeah. Could be entrapment. I'm not sure. Maybe
that's true. Not a lawyer, but it would be fun.
Yeah.
This is cool. Booze barrel tickets, 50-50. What prices do those run?
As far as the 50-50 raffles go,
ticket prices, do we know?
I'm not quite sure, so we'll have that there. I wish I had that answer for you. I think they're usually $5 or something like that. I think now we do have the rinks talked about getting a Square account set up too, to where you can buy them. I'd bring cash just in case.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah. If there's an ATM or anything.
Right. Well, there is no ATM, unfortunately. But if you want to bring cash in advance, like I said, I'm pretty sure the rink is setting up the Square account, but I always bring some just to fall back on. We're going to have some 8 and under hockey players too. They're going to play a game during one of the intermissions to get them involved, and they're also going to be walking around and selling the 50-50 tickets and chuck-a-puck tickets and like that. So if you flag down one of those kids, they're probably not going to know how to process a credit card machine. So
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, probably better than me, to be honest. So
this is so cool. The Guns N' Hoses hockey game is going to be on display, but some really cool stuff intermixed into it.
Yeah.
Get there when the doors open and bring cash and just help support and have fun. And going back to what you said earlier, it's so important because I have a 16-month-old daughter at home. Just telling you about, and like you said, going to a Cardinals game or a Blues game or even anything you start racking up the dollars pretty darn quick.
Kidding.
So go and do something where you can, it's number one, support the community, but also get some entertainment and have fun on a third of what it would cost to, go across the river to do it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What else am I missing?
Well, I'm not going to say you're going to see NHL caliber guys out there too. So it's pretty mixed skill level.
I will say, if you play with the guys from Slapshot, you are the quality I need. I will
so. Pretty sure they slow down for us a little bit, and they're getting up there in age. So, yeah, those guys actually come to us and say, "Why do you guys want to do this? It hurts. It hurts." So,
do you get the day off the next day, or do you got to go back on and patrol? I've never asked that question.
Well, luckily, being one of the organizers of the team, I get the benefit of picking and choosing when we're gonna do it.
Oh,
so,
there you go.
So I'm off all weekend, and it's pretty consuming for me to do all this stuff.
Oh, I couldn't. Seriously, I couldn't. How long does it take, all joking aside, to put something like this together?
Well, so we did it several months in advance. We'll start several months in advance, and that's more or less throwing some text messages around and having meetings. A lot of it just revolves around, I'm constantly on my phone, just revolves around electronically communicating with my guys that are going out and getting sponsorships, talking with JP, talking with, his mom and dad, Paula and Larry, who were so helpful in this. We actually have Ashley Wickenhauser helping us this year.
She's okay.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Ashley. Love you.
But yeah, I think
fantastic.
I'm trying to get her toward like more of an event coordinator and stuff. Since I mean, let's be honest, women are way more better at that stuff than guys are anyway. I'm kind of a space case, and you know, they're so much better at attention to detail. But she's going to be helping us the front office day as far as things like that go.
Fantastic. I love that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and if anyone's willing to volunteer some time too to help out, sell tickets and stuff, they can certainly get a hold of me, and
Same email.
Yeah, and I'll forward them to Ashley, who, like I said, she's kind of our event coordinator for that day. But it's our first year doing it, so the rink changed management. So I hope we don't get too many bumps in the road as far as it goes. It's kind of our maiden voyage of, you know, the 3 or 4 of us who are putting all together without direct rink involvement.
That's
but
right.
I will say the new manager, Tyler, has been so awesome and accommodating in anything that we need. He books our first responder and friends skates that we have. Our first responder and friends skates, they help donate to this. So I organize skates, and it's basically 2 or 3 times a month, and it's guys coming out skating. Most of us are first responders having fun. We donate $20. I pay myself too. Any of the leftover money goes into the pot, and all that money ends up buying things up front, like wristbands, any supplies we need for the game, and then whatever is left over I usually donate to. But Tyler, the rink manager, has been awesome about making sure we get enough ice to do that, giving us a good price on the ice. He's donated all this ice that we're going to be doing to the game, or for the game, for free, and just basically says, anything you guys need, I'll help out with. And he's been phenomenal about that.
This is just fantastic. We're going to throw this up one more time while I give you the final closing on this.
Sure.
The Guns and Hoses, there we go. The Guns and Hoses hockey game is set Saturday, March the 21st. That is this Saturday. Doors open at 3:30. Game starts at 4. I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown on how your Saturday is going to look. Go to the park, go to the zoo. It's going to be 80 degrees in the morning, and then by 3 o'clock, the kids are ready to go kind of settle down. You need some, breathing room, and you go settle in and watch this great hockey game, win the 50-50, win the booze raffle, just kind of hit the trifecta. Triple Crown winner of the Guns N' Roses raffle baskets, and then go home successful.
Yeah.
You're good. $10 gets you in the door. Right there at East Alton Ice Arena. Doors open 3:30. Game starts at 4, and we'll see you Saturday, March the 21st for Guns and Hoses, the hockey game, and once again benefiting the Madison County Fallen Officers Memorial Fund. Before I let you go, anything else to hit on?
Just one thing I want to let everyone know is these are annual events that we usually do. Now, the Guns and Hoses is split up among our Metro East First Responders Hockey Club. And we actually have our own events, too, where we play other teams from St. Louis. We played the Warriors. We actually went to Evansville last year, which was a lot of fun. But I just want everyone to know that, don't expect like a full-blown Blues game, but we do try to make it as entertaining as possible. You're not going to see NHL caliber players, especially not me.
Is there any chirping going on?
Yeah, a little bit. And the chirping's even better since we're all friends, so it's even a little bit worse. So like I said, there may be a scuffle that happens, maybe it's scheduled, maybe it's not. But, hopefully those guys take it a little bit easy. But I just wanted to thank you for your time. So the cool thing about this is you don't just get a ticket, you actually get a wristband. So even if you're not necessarily wanting to go, you can stop by the rink or get a hold of me and buy a wristband. So that supports the cause. And, instead of just getting a ticket that you throw away, you get a wristband, one of our nice, super cool Metro East First Responder wristbands. We do have them available, a few of them for like small kids and medium kids too. But I wanted to give you a couple of these.
Thank you
just
very
for having me on, because it's really important. And hopefully if anyone wants to make some last minute plans this weekend to stop on by and give us a couple hours of their time, the more people we have in the door, the better it is, the more our word gets out for sponsorships going forward. And we really just want to selfishly have fun with it, but more important, the cause is just raising money whenever we need to.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We'll take a quick break, leave everything in an article on RiverBender.com. We'll come back and wrap up this Wednesday morning, but we'll see you there this Saturday, East Alton Ice Arena, 3:30 p.m. is when the doors open. The game starts at 4, and all the fun that comes with it for a great cause. More daily show as we wrap it up next.